with another side quest. This one actually has a PlayStation trophy tied to it, apparently. So it's a long one. This will take a whole episode. Hey, it's not safe here for you to be standing. It's... It's not safe for you to be standing here. You scared me. Sorry, were you looking for something? I guess I was just too worried. Look in the distance. See that valley? There's an abandoned music theater in the middle of it. My uncle, he went down there all by himself. It looks like a no man's land down there. Tell me about it. The area's been abandoned for years. Who knows what kind of stuff might be down there? Wouldn't be surprised to get crushed by a falling boulder. But that stubborn old man, he even swung his fist at me when I told him I was gonna go along with him. Why does he have to go down there? You have no idea how stubborn that old man of ours can be, especially with that temper of his. At home, wherever he goes, not to mention he's also known in the field for being a wacko and a pain in the butt to get along with. Musicians on the receiving end of his temper and harsh critiques are a common thing. Musicians? My uncle became a renowned composer in the field at a young age. Don't know what's gotten him worked up in the last few days, though. Everyone in the family couldn't talk him out of coming all the way out here, and now he's just left me here. A news report? Yeah, it's one of those boring rumor ghost stories. The kind that even the kids wouldn't fall for. Its headlines went something like, abandoned theater in the rain, a piano plays without a performer. I think his age is finally catching up to him. I'll help you go look for him. Really? That'd be great. No wonder my uncle always talks about how the people of Jinzhou are so kind and warm-hearted. Guess it's all true. I was really stuck between a rock and a hard place. If he saw me going after him, he'd freak out for sure. Plus, with his heart condition and all... Thank you. As long as you can find him and make sure he's safe, that's all good enough for me. Goodness. Alright, let's get down there. I have to actually walk down there. You're telling me an old man went this way and got over there? Seems next to impossible. Man, I feel like I've already recorded like 6 or 7 videos today, thanks to side quests. A lot of side quests. But a lot of side quests also mean a lot of rewards. So, can't really complain all that much.
No hesitation.
Wait, there was a teleport thing here. Am I fucking blind? God damn it. That was so stupid. Wait, I thought there was a man. This is a woman. Excuse me. You're a person. What were you expecting, a ghost? It's just that people don't usually visit these parts. Here, I've got room to share. You don't want to get wet. What are you doing here? Since you asked, how about you answer why you're here first? I'm looking for someone. You're looking for someone? An elderly man. An elderly man? Seen anyone that fits the description? I've only been here for just a while. Haven't met anyone besides you. This isn't a place for an old man to be wandering all by himself. I'll come along and help you look for him if I have the time later. So what brings you here? Oh, it's nice meeting you. I'm a journalist from the Pioneer Association. You can call me Siren. Everything's green, so I got a bad feeling about calling you Siren. You start singing, we're gonna have some problems. I'm Alex Green. I came here to follow up on a news piece. The piano in the rain? So you've heard of it. Did you read the full article? I've heard of it. The article only had a few lines in the magazine. I thought barely anyone noticed it. In all honesty, I'm still just an intern. I only just came across the rumors by chance, and if everything goes well, this would be my first formal investigative report. But my editor thinks I'm just wasting my time on some random rumors. Why are you so interested in these rumors? You sure have a lot of questions to ask for a stranger. It's just my personal interest, that's all. I've only managed to get down here not long ago, and it started raining before I could get an investigation going. But on a side note, I think I'm actually in luck. I remember from the rumors that the piano will go off whenever it starts to rain. I just don't know for sure if we can hear it from here. Or maybe we should walk around a bit. Then again, I don't want to miss it for walking too far. Wait, listen, do you hear that? You hear something faint coming from that direction? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just hearing things. You seem a little anxious. How about we go together and head towards that direction? You can help me keep an ear out for the piano, and I'll help you keep an eye out for that old man of yours. It's safer if we both stay together. Am I right? If anything happens out of the ordinary, we can look out for each other. Sure. Great. Sound. A piano faintly echoes in the rain, extremely difficult to make out in the direction it's coming from. Siren quickly takes out her recorder to record it. I'll just be moving. Wow, they're sitting there, just waiting. Wait, aren't these things facing the wrong way if you think about it?
Bad timing.
A piano faintly echoes in the rain. Extremely... oh, same thing. Why is the sky getting red? Is that the sun? Oh! Great, it's starting to pour. Now it's getting all my gear soaked. Do you want to move on? We've been walking around this area for a while and we haven't heard any more of that piano. Why don't we find a place to take shelter from the rain first and go over these recordings? See if there are any clues we can analyze. Should we go back to where we were earlier? Let's go.
An unexpected discovery.
An unexpected discovery. Sometimes I just like repeating it. I'm not repeating that. What the hell is going on here? Hey, look over there! What are they doing here? This place sure grew in popularity in just one day. Could it be that they all came here after reading the article? It can't be. Hiya! Are you also here to take cover from the rain? Wait, something feels off. Sir, the performance is in less than 4 hours. I need to go over the piece for at least another rehearsal. You've practiced it for 1,000 times already. What difference do you think it'll make? We've got less than 4 hours to spare. Why don't we make use of this time to go for a walk? Enjoy the scenery. It's your first time in Jinzhou, isn't it? That's exactly why I had to be more careful. Got to make a good first impression in front of the people of Jinzhou. Besides, I know how confident you are, but I'm not like you. It's true that you and I are different. Aaron, your style is clearly more robust. But sometimes you put yourself in much tension, which leaves yourself in a lack of harmony and enjoyment. Jinzhou is the border city of Honglong. The people here are tenacious and optimistic. Thus, the music they create is also grand and majestic, full of vigor. I believe it has something in common with your style. A staff told me that there's a record store not far from here, so I was thinking. I understand your meaning, sir. It's all due to my lack of practice and confidence. I'll work hard, forgive me, that I can accompany you in the sightseeing. I'll head back to the theater to practice and help you sort out the music sheets and the performance list. Aaron, that kid, I can do it myself just fine. Siren, are you okay? J- Joshua, it's Mr. Joshua. Mr. Joshua? So hmm. Why? Why are they repeating the same conversation? I see. I see how it is. It's Mr. Joshua's spirit. Mr. Joshua's spirit is trapped inside this area. Trapped forever. What are you talking about, Siren? I... Mr. Joshua is the reason I came here. 20 years ago, he saved my wife from a terrible accident. He saved me by sacrificing himself, and for all those years, I've been scared to come back here. Whenever I closed my eyes, that terrible moment would show up inside my mind. It was until I heard rumors. Whenever there is rainfall, the sound of Mr. Joshua's piano can be heard. The ghostly figure is just as Mr. Joshua was in my memories. He must be trapped here. The sound of falling rain is the sound of his soul weeping as he plays his music on and on. It must be his way of expressing his frustration. Frustrated is why I haven't come back to visit him so many years. Why didn't I come free him? Siren, take a deep breath. It must be his spirit. You have to help me. I need to find a way to save him. I don't think it's his spirit. What do you mean? They call this the retroact rain. Retroact rain? Retroact rain can recreate images or events from the past. I see. I've only read about it in textbooks. Never actually seen one before. Rain that falls inadvertently backwards towards the sky, while creating illusions of past events in its area. After looking at it closely, the rain is really falling upstream. Mr. Joshua, what we saw, was it really a mirage from the past? But the books say mirages that appear are completely random. Why? Of all times could it happen? Why now? Why appear in front of me? It must be fate. If you think I've gone crazy, you can leave if you want. That's not what I had in mind. I'm sorry. I'm getting a bit emotional. I didn't mean to get mad at you. I need to take some time alone. See if that mirage will appear again. Not a problem. Thank you. I appreciate you understanding. I'll go take a look around. Please be careful. I'll see if there are any clues in the record store. Thank you. I originally thought I was looking for an old man. And again, why the hell is my throat so dry? Like at the very back of my throat, it's dry. I've been drinking, so what the hell? It's like only a specific spot at the back of my throat is just dry. Or maybe that's actually not the dry spot, and that's actually the thing that had been stuck in my throat earlier. And now it's just kind of sitting there, stuck. Alright. The entrance to the record store is blocked by thorns.
Remnants
I should find another way in. Illusions. Here? Pop music, folk music, and classical. Rainwater is leaking in. That explains the illusions in the store. Oh! Hey, mister, did you want to buy this record too? It's fine, go ahead, you can have it. Thank you, mister. Classical music. Quite the taste you have there, young lady. This one? It's kind of hard for me. Mother told me it's best for me to build my musical senses with the harder ones. My fingers hurt from all the practice, but I'll keep working hard. Good for you, child. You know the importance of practice very well. What do you think, mister? Mother is right, but I think sometimes there's other ways to choose music.
Oh, then how do you propose you should choose?
For example, what kind of music do you usually listen to? What kind of music makes you want that? What kind of music? What kind of music makes you want to hum whenever you hear it? Or perhaps the kind of music that makes you want to dance?
Um, Mother wouldn't be happy if I told her that. I know, every time we pass by the theater, the sounds of drums and gongs. You know, those sounds are so lively. They always make me want to hop around with them.
Is that so? I also quite enjoy the sounds of percussion instruments of Jinjo. Well, it's a shame that I probably won't have time to go to the theater and enjoy them myself. In that case, let's see. This one, collection of traditional percussion music. I'm sure you'll like it.
Whoa! But Mother wouldn't buy me anything that's not piano related.
I see. It's okay. You can have it as a gift.
I can't. Mother told me I can't take things from strangers.
Ah, yes. Your mother is correct. How about this? I'm sure you know about the performance at the theater tonight.
Yeah, Mother is a fan. It's what we're waiting here for.
Perfect. Then I'll leave my signature on this record. At the performance, bring it with you and come to the backstage with your mother. Think of it as a special gift for a fan. What is your name, young girl?
Oh, really? Thank you, mister. My name is Siren.
Okay, Siren, here you go. Well, would you look at the time? I still haven't found a gift for my assistant. I look forward to seeing you tonight, little pianist. The mirage disappeared.
How's it going over there for you? I think I found something. Let's meet up at these coordinates after you're done.
The mirage gradually dissipated in the rain. The destroyed record store is in a total mess, with fallen shelves lying everywhere, and pieces of records scattered across the floor. Oh, well, that was a bizarre quick change.
There you are. Did you find anything?
I saw a mirage of your childhood.
My. my childhood? You mean the one when Mr. Joshua gave me the record?
That's right.
This is why. This is why I'm so afraid to go there. I've lost it. The record. Lost it when I was running for dear life. I don't know where. It's been long gone. It was a record Mr. Joshua picked for me. If he knew that I lost it, I can't imagine how sad and disappointed he would be.
He wouldn't blame you.
You don't have to cheer me up. The only thing that's on my mind right now is how to free Mr. Joshua's soul. I gotta pull myself together. It came to me while I was looking around earlier. Mr. Joshua mentioned in his memories that he'd like to compose music at places where there's water. I remember there's a body of water not far away, so I went to try my luck. And lo and behold, I heard the piano playing again. I don't know why, but the sound of that piece felt really faint, like it's coming from every direction, from the sky. It was impossible to tell the direction it was coming from. The area around the water is too wide for me to do a complete go-around in a short amount of time. That's why I contacted you, hoping you could help me investigate.
No problem.
Thanks. Now, I'll go in this direction and you go opposite. Meet back here in 15 minutes.
Oh, hey, I can make that pulled spicy or the fish thing. There we are. Hidden in a secluded spot is an old recorder playing a piano piece. The sound is distorted with static, making it sound somewhat eerie.
Leave it to me.
Surrender your stuff.
On the top of the watchtower, you notice a beat-up record playing the same piano piece. Together with the two records in the middle of the lake surface and on the ground, a sound field is cleverly created. This must be what's giving the piano piece its ghostly surrounding sound.
Didn't find anything out of the ordinary on my side. Strangely enough, the farther I go, the further away I seem to be from the piano. So I assume the source is most likely towards your direction, hurried back.
I found an exile camp.
Exiles? What are they doing here? What about the piano? Did you find the source?
The exiles were broadcasting the music.
What are the exiles using Mr. Joshua's music for? What are they trying to get out of it? It doesn't make sense.
To spread panic rumors.
You mean to tell me that the piano in the rain is just a ghost story? Made up by the exiles just to scare people away from their territory? So it's just an ordinary mirage, not his lingering spirit.
Why are you so persistent about Mr. Joshua's spirit?
Persistent, huh? I don't know. Maybe I am being too persistent. And if it's not Mr. Joshua's spirit, if even his spirit's gone, how am I supposed to tell him I'm sorry? Sorry that I quitted the piano and gave up on music. Sorry that I failed to take care of that record. Sorry that I ran away without even looking for him.
Siren.
I'm sorry. I just...
Wait, did you hear that?
Huh? Yes. I hear it. It sounds pretty far away.
Do you have a pair of binoculars?
I do. Let me find it. I see someone. Over there, right by the lake. Looks like an old man.
Did Mr. Joshua never die? Is he the old man?
Who are you? What do you want?
Don't go into the water.
Let go of me this instant!
No, it's too dangerous.
I'm not trying anything dangerous. Just let me go.
Your nephew asked me to come find you.
My nephew. That fool of a child. I'm in perfect health. What could possibly happen to me?
Why were you trying to go into the water?
What do you think I'm trying to do? See that over there? On the high ground? It suddenly occurred to me that there was something over there. And I must get it back. Get your dirty paws off me! I just need to get it back. It's nothing to worry about.
I'll help you.
My business is none of your concern, youngster.
It'll be quick and easy.
You... Oh, look at you, young and everything. Don't you feel proud of yourself? I guess I'll thank you in advance. It should be right on the platform. You'll know when you see it.
You found a book-like object layered with dust and dirt. The few vague musical notes that can be made out reveal that it seems to be a piano score.
This is it. This is the one. After 20 years, I thought it had completely rotted out. It must be my mentor's spirit safekeeping it all this time.
Could it be your Master Aaron?
So you've heard of my name from my nephew. Thank you, young man. You can go tell my nephew I'm fine.
You must have came here for Mr. Joshua.
You know of my mentor. Wait, are you here because of the news article of the ghost?
Take it easy, sir.
How can I not be excited about this? So there are still people who remember my mentor, just like I have. My dear mentor, is your soul finally at rest?
You described to Master Aaron in detail the encounter with Mr. Joshua's mirage during the rain. After hearing your story, Aaron stared at the lake with a blank face and went silent for a long time, before finally burying his head into his hands, sobbing painfully.
Mr. Joshua, as you saw in the mirage, I wasn't at the record store with him, nor was I at the theater for more practice as I had said. I came here instead, standing in the spot where I am now, with this piano score in my hands.
Why did you come here?
Joshua would often stay next to large areas of water wherever he had composed piano pieces. He would close his eyes with a very peaceful smile on his face. He said he listens to the symphony of winds and water. I volunteered to be his assistant at the time. I became famous at a young age, so famous to a point where everyone praised that I was a musical genius, which only appears once every 100 years. I cherished my title of a genius, but I didn't let go of my efforts, so inevitably, I became successful. But I knew that no matter how talented I am, or how hard I practiced, there will always be a behemoth looking down at me, and a plethora of leading musicians that I cannot surpass at the time. So I volunteered to become Joshua's assistant. I hope to stand next to his side and learn from him at every moment, thinking that one day I'll be able to surpass him.
Having a competitive mindset may lead to misfortune.
You're quite receptive for your age, aren't you? That's right. The more impatient I am, the more I feel inferior to him. How does he keep his composure all the time? Why the casual attitude? Why does he always tell me to be calm and relax? Why can he just listen to the sound of water and winds and have expressions of so much enjoyment? And can't I? After glossing over the piano score in my hands, looking at the dotted notes and the handwriting, a sudden urge of emotions I couldn't define flowed into my head, and I flung the score into the air with all my strength, turned back, and headed towards the theater. I made up my mind after the performance I would request a formal resignation to my mentor.
But then
Halfway there, I heard a shoal shaking blare, the eerie howls, ground-shaking boomings of the theater collapsing, and the screams of people running for their lives. I was caught between the fleeing crowds, petrified as rescue workers dragged and pulled me away. After I was taken to a safety area, I desperately searched for my mentor among the survivors.
my condolences.
So many years have passed. I know more than anyone that there was no chance Joshua could have survived. Since then, I could no longer play. I became a composer. But when I saw that news, There's no doubt in my mind that his soul has made a return. He was calling out to me. Forgive me. It's just me getting old. Every time I think of the past, I always end up rattling on. I apologize for dragging you along in this woeful story of mine. I have to go back to the theater with this music score and finish the performance that was meant to be.
I'll go with you.
Leave it to
Oh
me.
my god, you could actually see the rain reverse. This game's details, bro, they are out of this fucking world. As Aaron opened the music score and placed it on the music desk, hands trembling, Siren's voice emerges from behind you.
That piano. I can't believe it's still here. May I know who you are, sir?
You must be here for Joshua. Same as this young man, I presume.
I do, Miss Josh. I do miss Mr. Joshua dearly.
Well, you've arrived just in time. Who could have imagined that a 20-year suspended performance would be greeted by 2 audiences?
Make it 3.
Yes, yes. How can I forget? If my mentor could see this now, he'd be deeply pleased.
Mentor? Are you?
It's just how I refer to him. I was Joshua's assistant, but nowadays I would rarely mention myself as a student. I don't deserve it.
Sir, I've always thought that if I'm lucky enough to meet Mr. Joshua's relatives, or those close to him, I should express my apology.
Apology?
Mr. Joshua, it was because of me that he...
Siren.
It's okay. That day, I came to the theater with my mother, and I was extremely excited for the performance. I didn't know at the time that the person who gave me the record at the record store was the maestro Joshua that my mother had admired so much. Before the performance, he came up on stage and kindly greeted the audience. He said that the highly anticipated opening performance was to be performed by his beloved pupil. He joked how it was the student's first large performance, and he was a little nervous. How the student was sharp and more talented than even himself, and that everyone would fall in love with him and his performance. Then, out of nowhere, I heard strange noises above my head. Mr. Joshua and I were the first to notice the noises. We looked up at the ceiling almost at the same time. Before we knew it, the sky came down on top of us.
The theater collapsed?
Yes, it was that monster.
A tacit discord.
It was still a time where knowledge of the TD habits were limited, and the guidelines and restrictions placed on outdoor theater performances were not as strict as they are now. I had no idea what was happening. All I could remember was being pushed out by my mother and just ran. I couldn't tell which direction I was going. Rocks and debris were falling everywhere. Screams and sounds of panicking people running echoed behind me. And that deep snarl. Just when I was at a loss, a huge hand grabbed me from the shadows. I wanted to scream, but then I found it was Mr. Joshua. He covered my mouth and took me to a crack formed from collapsed concrete.
Joshua.
I don't know how long time had passed before the screams around us disappeared. It was nothing but dead silence. All we could hear was the harsh breathing sound, the sound of a giant hoof stepping over rocks. It was pacing.
Like some kind of haunting behavior.
It must be. We later realized it must have heard us breathing, so it kept wandering around. We waited, waiting to see if it'll find a new prey, praying for it to leave. I've long had lost track of the time, and rescue was not coming. All I knew is my lips were as dry were dry and that they would just crack at any moment, and my consciousness getting weaker. Mr. Joshua gently patted me on the back. I could barely make out the rhythms. It was his debut piece.
That piece, the one that's been floating around this place.
He wanted you to stay awake.
Yes, but his rhythm started to slow down. He checked my pulse and stopped patting, like he had made some kind of decision. He opened my eyelids and told me he's going to carry me in his arms and leave our hideout together on his mark, and that all I needed to do was just run. Run until my legs gave out. I was terrified, but I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my mother, so I nodded in agreement.
There was no way a little girl can outrun.
Mr. Joshua thought of it as well. He knew it was impossible for us to outrun the monster. I never escaped on my own. He carried me in his arms and walked out into the debris. We held our breaths as he tiptoed forward. But as we barely got out, we heard the monster's hastened footsteps. Mr. Joshua sat me down on the ground and yelled, "Run!" as he rushed in the opposite direction.
Towards the piano.
The sound of the piano began to play, smooth like the flow of water as the footsteps immediately turned in its direction.
These creatures are naturally attracted to sound.
Yes, these sounds. Those horrifying sounds. I didn't look back. I was too afraid. All these years, I've been scared to look back, covering my eyes and ears, always running. If it wasn't for me.
That is wonderful.
Sir?
So there was an audience there for Joshua's final performance after all. He dedicated his final piece to you, his little audience.
Aaron placed his finger on a piano key. After 20 years, the battered piano that had witnessed everything.
Leave it to me.
So, it was you. It's your fault.
Now it's my turn. How reliable.
You're the one who took Joshua away.
Guide my blade.
You're the reason these people have regrets.
Upswing. Harmonize. Repose. I got your back. How reliable.
Ow.
Attack is the best defense. Guide my blade. No mercy. Upswing. Ha! Oblivion. I got your back. Oh. Ha! Huh. Guide my blade. Ah! Strike. Cool. Harmonize. Ah! I got your back.
Where did he run off to now? He said he'd be here for some practice. I hope he isn't mad about what I said earlier. I wonder if it'll give him a startle when I announce his upcoming first ever solo concert. Oh, he'll be practicing and getting ready for it all day, that's for sure. Need to come up with a good way to persuade him to relax his mind and go feel the world more. Then again, no musician wouldn't have their share of practices when they were young. Some things will naturally come to understanding after a period of time. Oh, if it isn't the little girl from the record store. Look at her waving her arms. She really is a child full of energy. I hope she can carry her passion for music like she does now with her, and grow up well. Vitality of life, the essence of music. The clouds looming over the theater gradually dissipated as sunlight shone down on its center. Aaron and Siren broke down in tears, watching the figure in the rain fade away. You walked up to them and took out the record that's been split in two from your backpack.
Could this be?
I met Mr. Joshua at the record store. He mentioned choosing a present for his student. After 20 years, the present is finally in your hands. And the record that I lost, I think I found it.
Even if it isn't Joshua's spirit, this rain, our encounter, and you witnessing it all, these are all real.
Would you perform again, Mr. Aaron?
By all means. What about you? Would you like to enjoy a percussion performance together with me?
Yeah, Rover should come with us too.
Sure thing.
Fantastic. From this day forth, the three of us shall be known at the internal audience.
Wow. That was actually a really good side quest. I actually almost started crying when talking about what happened to Joshua. Like, holy shit. I was getting into it there. That was a really good quest. I like that. Oh, it's blue now.
There's the other one. The current text says, I'll tell you how it works.
I'm guessing the first time you fight those guys, they are yellow, but the second time they're not.